This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning, and we also take a look at the political pieces we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 22nd of March 2019. I am DM sitting in for 2J.
I am 2M.
And I am Miss K, your host. Again, in case you missed it, this is Winning Headlines. Let's take a look at today's headlines. The Star. Justice Ibrahim denies claims of gun drama. I have a reminiscent Nancy Baraza vibe with that paper. The Standard. 2022 transfer of power fuels judiciary wars. And the Daily Nation. Supreme Court judge in gun puzzle.
Wow.
Interesting headlines.
They're punchy today.
Well, they're also saying the same thing. We're deep in the judiciary.
Yes.
But who can forget what has happened today?
What happened?
What happened?
The president's social media pages have been brought down.
Brought down, like brought down.
Yes.
Okay.
And the chief of staff, Njoka Waita, says that they were brought down because the pages had some unauthorized access.
So are you trying to tell me that he is saying they were hacked?
He knows it's not.
Maybe let's go to the reason why, the real reason why it was brought down.
What we
Because
think.
obviously bringing it down was damage control.
What we think.
Yeah.
I will read something here from the president's Twitter page. Not the one that's been brought, actually the one that's been brought down.
Did a screenshot.
This was
What time? Give me the
6:50
timestamp.
6:50
AM.
22nd March 2010.
Okay.
I mean 2019.
Tell me,
right?
take me to the post.
It says, if you are corrupt, we will fight you. You can be my brother or my sister or my closest political ally. But if you're corrupt, we will fight you. I won't be clouded by ethnicity or status in my quest to leave behind a united nation. And I will continue championing for Kenya's unity.
So what you're telling me, 2M, is that this post was the reason why the accounts were brought down. That the president posted what he's been saying everywhere all the time.
Yes.
Anyway, that
Yes.
it doesn't matter who you are, I'm fighting corruption, I'm serious about it.
Yes.
And then they brought down the pages.
Someone in the presidential communications unit had second thoughts.
About that particular post. I feel like that's an overreaction. Why don't you just take down the post?
Whatever the reason was, this damage control is too over the top.
I agree.
Those are the horrors of unskilled labor. If you don't have a seasoned social media person on your team who would just take whatever offending tweet down and then put a distraction, put a TBT of the president's wedding or something.
It's true. Divert attention. Attention.
Distract us.
Let me bring us back to our headlines so we don't go into speculation. Bringing down the post because of one post versus being hacked, I feel like those are big claims that we've made. So we don't get into speculation. Let me bring us back to our headlines. Before we go into them, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to break down the headlines for you. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Is the headline topical or is it speculative? Is it repetitive or is it groundbreaking? And finally, is it thoughtful or just plain lazy? So we are in repetition mode. Yesterday we had judiciary on some of the papers, 2 of the papers. Only one of the papers had a different stories. Today we have a new angle. Ibrahim was caught with guns. Supreme Court judge.
Allegedly.
Caught playing James Bond.
Oh yeah.
I believe that story.
You believe the story?
I believe it. I do. And the reason I believe it is what he's alleged to have said in defense of himself.
Okay.
Doesn't hold water. He said, I told the guard to leave my premises and he left, and now he's saying I drew a gun at him. You know, if there was a more dramatic...
He doesn't own a gun. He doesn't own a gun.
He doesn't have a license.
No one in his family has a gun. He doesn't have a license to have a gun. Therefore, he could not have drawn a gun on them. It was also 4 a.m. I don't know how well lit his compound is. And if you can assume my hand going like this is a gun pointing at you. I don't know.
I doubt that. And just because somebody doesn't have a license doesn't mean that they may not have a gun around them.
And that would be a big deal because if we are saying that, that's a big deal.
You know, this will not be the first
criminal
time
activity happens.
a Supreme Court judge having trouble with a guard. This is
Very
what,
familiar.
It's very familiar. This is what took down Justice Baraza.
Yes, it's what took her down, and
Nancy
of course
Baraza.
it plays with all our psychology.
Yeah.
Big, bad, unstoppable judicial officer with so much power and no control,
Yeah.
Yes.
versus the small mwananchi who is left to their own devices, who
Yes.
just has to be at the whims of this big bad judge. But I'm sorry. You know, if I was a guard and I saw how well that lady brought down Nancy Baraza,
You do the exact same
if
thing.
at all I'm fearful that I'm going to be fired because I have done something wrong,
Yeah.
and this judge comes at me, rightfully annoyed that I've done something wrong, I would go and cry wolf. He threatened me. I fear for my life. That would be my story.
I think that's a long shot also because as we have the big person syndrome.
Yes.
As a small person, it would take a lot for me to go and accuse this person unless I am very confident that something actually
let me tell you
went
what-
down. But the other reason
Yeah.
I believe this story is what you just said.
Yes.
This disparity in power.
Between the haves and the have-nots.
Between the guy up there and the guy down there. A lot of people, not just in the judiciary, but people in high political platforms would often be on power trips, and this one looks like he was on a power rocket, not even. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
The
But
only
who
thing I
knows?
question is the time. Because here's the thing. I do say it's true. Generally, we have a big power differentiation between the little guy and the guy at the top. But in recent past, the guy at the bottom has been gaining ground significantly. That has also left the guy at the top exposed because now he is guilty until proven innocent.
That
and that's
is
the
true.
thing that Ibrahim has to
That
face.
is true.
Until he proves that he doesn't own a gun, he never drew a gun, or someone else gives any evidence in his defense, he's already judged by us, already judged by the media, already judged by anybody who sees this story.
Guys,
That's
Can we
guys,
be
fair.
conspiratory and say that this all plays into the whole Supreme Court?
They're together.
Let me tell
Saga.
you.
They're together.
There's no chance you have 3 newspapers talking about the exact same thing.
Okay, fine. Let's
There-
address them the standard.
There is a scheme by someone, all right? And this has to do with 2022 politics.
Absolutely.
This has to do with, you have petitions going on
Against
within the JC. There's
6 of the
There's
7.
only one judge who's not being petitioned, and that is Isaac.
Lanaola.
The others are being petitioned.
And the Siega.
They're under Siege.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I have to.
And if you see this, there is someone who wants this for their own play.
Yeah. And as we said yesterday, the Supreme Court is the most important player, not one of the most, but the most important player in power politics.
Yes.
Ahead of 2022. They will be the adjudicators of all contestations.
Yeah.
From the MCA level down to the national presidential level.
Yes.
And we know we can bet that there is going to be a petition.
Of course, we are
Dear.
so
Bet on our
litigious.
family
We
bet.
can
Dear.
bet it.
I have another theory as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your theory?
Adding into yours, the person who's pushing the corruption and hunger narrative is the same person doing this. And that person has done it for a very long time, and Uhuru Kenyatta is being encircled and he does not know about
Okay,
it.
Does
here's
this
the thing.
person have a face and a
He
name?
has a face, he has a name, I don't know,
A national
mention him
ID?
now. But I'm sure he knows himself. And
Here's
I know
the
who
thing.
you people, I know you know who I'm talking about.
I have 3 suspects.
Okay, you
myself.
give me your 3 suspects, and then I'm going to counter 2M's argument.
Okay. 3 general suspects. Number 1, William Ruto as the obvious main contender for 2022.
He's stated his claim. We know what he wants. We know he's going for it. It's true.
Number 2, Raila Odinga as a probable contender for 2022.
True.
And then number 3,
What's number 3? I'm actually waiting for number 3.
number 3 is an agent
Of who?
of a faceless person. The agent is David Murage. Murade. Mugare.
Okay, we've thrown it
Mugare.
out there. I just have something to say. DM to M. Here's the thing with the Supreme Court.
You hear?
You're both M's. Just wait for it. Give me my 2 minutes of fame. Okay, 5 seconds of fame. Here's the thing. I think that the Supreme Court is true. Very big power player, 2022.
Yeah.
Very big power player if there's a referendum. Generally, big power player. Now, the problem is they flexed their political muscle in 2017. to their own detriment.
Yeah.
You see, it's bad when you show me all your cards, because now I know when you can play them and how far you're willing to go to play them.
Right.
They played their biggest card. They invalidated an election.
Yes.
Now, I think that for this particular war, all your suspects are uniting against them. For this reason, if you can invalidate election against person A, you can also invalidate election against person B. Therefore, I would like to be able to control as much of that court as I possibly can, regardless of which way they swing. Because you never know how the petition will go. You never know how the election will go.
So, yeah.
But let me
people
answer.
would like the constitution of the court, of the Supreme Court to favor them.
Let me answer you, Mrs. K. Who's the head of the Supreme Court?
The CJ and the
The
CJ.
president of the Supreme
CJ
Court.
is...
Wait, for the CJ, it's been wired politically, I don't know, such that each election we have a new one. So this one doesn't matter.
Let me
We're
tell
going to
you.
get a new one anyway.
Hypothetically, my position is, and I'm very careful with my words, if Justice Maraga went into an election, right, he went to vote, and just next to him were so many cameras. He went to the ballot box and he placed his choice into the ballot box. Do you know what that says? That even as he was voting, before he did that announcement, he had a position, and he called the media to come and watch him vote.
Okay.
He walked majestically to a polling station next to...
He has the right to vote.
And he has the right to vote. But if you're
And
going
he
to...
may have just had that attention on him by
By
virtue of the
the-
fact
that
that
he's
he
a
is the
CJ.
president
Absolutely.
of the Supreme Court.
And I don't disagree.
So-
But if you went to a polling station, you clearly showed people that you had a preference.
That is his personal preference as a citizen of Kenya. It is your right to vote.
And I agree.
Now,
but
he
then
has a
why,
position
But
for
why
which
should we
he's
doubt?
oath
Why should we
to
doubt
be
that he has a
partial.
side? I'm sure this guy has a side. My hypothetical
Okay,
position.
Let me just
Being speculative.
He is a tool that is being used to
Okay, hold
perpetuate.
on.
shift-
Let's
let's
DM.
realm
Let's
of
let's give DM a moment to even just
Let me
put
just
our words.
counter something you said, Ms. K. The Supreme Court were damned if they
Do.
nullified the election or damned if they don't, because they were just doing that which falls under their mandate.
Right.
You know, it just then happened that
Too
it becomes
true.
part of political power play. So, you know, they were just
Anyone who
doing their
sits there
thing.
is always on our seat, is what you're trying to say.
That
So
is
what
it.
do we
That
say
is
about
it.
these three headlines? Because now we have linked them together, they're inextricably linked. If we keep them, we keep them. If we toss them, we toss them. I feel toss.
No.
Collectively, no.
Okay, so we separate. What do
Disagree.
we keep?
Let's disaggregate them.
This is the gun puzzle, Supreme Court judge in gun drama. Same with the star. So these two are linked. This is, and I think, well, I could keep the standard. But the 2020 transfer of power fuels judiciary wars.
Absolutely.
I could keep
So
this.
the standard agrees with us.
Effective,
This I keep.
topical, thoughtful.
Also tries to lift the veil of ignorance from the public. It shows you the power
Absolutely.
play behind
Yes.
the
I
power
would
plays.
buy it. I would buy it knowing that, or at least anticipating that
So
I will
then-
get information.
Do we say that the standard is our winning headline for today? But we tossed those two. Gone. Okay.
Yep.
Standard is our winning headline. 2022 transfer of power fuels judiciary wars. On to our next segment, the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. And just like the headlines, we have a three-part criteria that we use to break them down for you. We ask ourselves, is it humorous or is it dry? Is it satirical or is it pessimistic? And is it effective or plain lazy?
Lazy.
Let's bring them back. We start with the standard since it's our winning headline. Let's see what they've got.
Gado. I think it's the same thing, huh?
Yeah, it's
Or
going with
same
the headlines.
theme.
It's the same theme.
Judiciary
Is a ship.
going down.
A battleship, by the way. It looks, it's locked and loaded. Yeah, can
Yes.
Pattern of an armada.
Absolutely. And around it is,
Sharks.
Sharks.
Circling.
and there's a female.
Member of the judiciary. We're not going to impute who they are.
And she's just been thrown off.
Overboard.
She's been thrown overboard. What I find interesting is that there's a set of people in there that
Cheers.
even as the ship is going
They're
down, they're
toasting.
toasting. They're
Yeah.
toasting.
Those are the three suspects.
So we put that in the parking lot. Do we like it enough to keep it?
Let's keep it in the
Parking
parking
bay.
bay so that we can weigh it against the others.
What's there against it? Let's see. Hi, Monene.
I think Monene today has tried.
Okay, Brexit.
But it's
He's done a good job.
He's done a good job.
Yeah.
He's showing Prime Minister Theresa May going
The
through
British handbag.
the British handbag, running somewhere, but she seems not to realize that where she's running is.
She does realize. You can
Over
see
a cliff.
You can see her expression.
Yeah, she does realize, and
Yeah.
you can see the determination in her face. She's still going to go through it because there's a tightrope that she has to walk through, and
Yes.
she has decided that she will. Actually, she in real life she has no choice to get to the Brexit finale.
Yeah, I think the EU has given time to the UK, to England, to Britain.
Have they really given time? Or
They've given
An
a
extension.
time, but
it's a
on
limited.
their own timetable.
It's
Not
a
what
limited extension. What
Yeah.
she
Theresa
thought.
May sought. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing is more. I mean, the
It's
context of things.
it's a good cartoon, but it doesn't, hit the spot.
It doesn't hit the spot. It's not humorous. It's
Yeah.
not satirical. It's quite literal.
Well,
It's-
let's see
But
what
it is
Victor has
effective.
today.
It's
It is
far.
effective.
Wafula and Mutuku will not understand this.
Okay. Also, we as an Afrocentric station, I don't know.
But I like it myself. But not that it's my winning cartoon.
So what do we have? The star.
I'd rather a lady describe this. Can you describe it?
Okay, so we have who appears to be Lady Justice, but a more succulent representation of her.
Oh, I love that word, succulent.
She's holding a sword and she's holding the balance.
Yes.
And she's not blindfolded as she should be. She should be blindfolded, but she's not.
She's very dolled up.
And she's very dolled up. She has the classic red lips.
And her
And
eyes
then
are.
behind her is the JSC holding up her robes and taking a photo, I suppose, of her exposed bottoms and saying, let us try the court of public opinion. Well, let us try the court of public opinion is what the JSC is saying.
Okay.
So they're violating the judiciary.
Oh my gosh.
Does she ordinarily hold a sword?
Yes, Lady
Okay.
Justice has to have a sword for her to meet out the justice, the
But she's
scales.
blind.
And the
But then
scales,
she's blind, so that because it's for two
the law
reasons.
is supposed to be
It's
blind.
supposed to be blind. You're not meant to look
Yeah.
at your parties. You're meant to be impartial. But
Yeah.
also, it can be against you. Sometimes you can think you have a valid cause,
Yeah.
and it goes against you because as she meets out that justice, it falls.
You
where
think
it
you're
falls.
doing good law, but you're actually
It falls where it
not
falls.
applying other factors.
Ha! I do think it's humorous. I was laughing through your entire description, but I also think it's sad.
Humorous, catchy.
Okay, I think.
But it's sad, but it's the truth.
It's the
isn't
truth.
it?
It is the damn truth.
So what do you think? Because you see, this and Victor Ndula and Gado have a similar cartoon. So what do we say against the two of them? Versus Monene's cartoon, which is about Brexit. Because we have two that are speaking to the same thing. I think we'll have to do
let me help
which
you.
is more. Ooh. Okay, bye Monene. Which is a better representation? Is it the sinking ship or Lady Justice with her bare essentials
I think Lady
exposed?
Justice. It's a very loaded cartoon.
It's super loaded.
It's
It's
effective.
effective.
It's humorous, even
It's
though
also
it's
satirical.
representing something, that is very unhappy, and it's satirical.
And that's our winning cartoon
I
from the
love it.
star Victor Ndula.
I love it.
4 times in a row. Look at you.
love it.
I know.
I
I
love
think
it.
we're partial to him. We should stop being partial to him, you guys.
We are actually not partial to him. He's doing a good job.
Well, he is. He is
Yeah.
doing a good job. That winning cartoon, the star Victor Ndula. This is Winning Headlines. Have a great weekend. See you next week.